my question is, I was with someone for quite some time, and now we're separating, and we always had different beliefs. I was raised in a Christian home, and he was raised otherwise, and I'm from the Caribbean.
Okay.
Mm,
Oh,
And in my country, we practice different things.
mhm.
So in the separation, I have a daughter. And I've always expressed my concerns regarding his mom,
Okay.
which she practiced otherwise.
Hmm.
So that always have been a concern for me. Every time I express it, it's usually, well, you knew about it, should leave if you knew you couldn't handle it. Um, so now that I'm going through the separation, I want my daughter to be able to communicate with his family and be okay with him. However, I always have that fear where the mom would, you know, use her practice on my daughter. I'm not sure how to handle that situation.
What did you say they were practicing again?
So she practices voodoo,
Hmm. Yep.
and I do not believe in voodoo whatsoever.
Hmm.
Um, I respect her decision. However, for me, I feel like there's no boundaries, meaning the son doesn't set any boundaries. She says whatever she wants, whenever she wants.
Hmm.
So my concern is not okay. So if my daughter goes around, and I would love for my daughter to get to know her grandmother, of course.
Hmm.
Now, how, if my daughter's around, how is she going to handle that situation? And I've seen how she behaves. So it's like a great concern for me because, again, I'm raised in a Christian home.
Hmm.
I do not want my daughter to be partaking in any of those activities whatsoever.
Do you all have shared custody? You only, or do you have sole custody?
So, um, right now we're just managing the best we can, which is, um, I take her whenever I can. He takes her whenever he can, and we're trying to work it out without getting the law involved. However,
Good.
again, due to my culture, you get blame if you get the law involved. They tell you, oh, in Haiti, that's not how they do it.
I have a lot of clients from Haiti and the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Mhm.
um, it's been really hard trying to compromise my boundaries, honestly, and trying to be decent to his family. And I just don't know how to handle the situation because it's like, okay, when I express them, it's like it's being dismissed.
Mhm.
It's because I'm he says it's because I'm paranoid. It's always about me, so I'm not sure what to do. And I promise I try my best not to make everything about me.
Mhm. I think this is easy. I've had very similar questions before, not specific to this, like, voodoo, things like that, but specific to different parenting styles, different religious beliefs. I've worked with couples that one believed one thing and the other one believed another one, and there was a divide, even with the children. How did the children going to be raised? Things like that. I mean, biblically, as a Christian, you would understand biblically, the Bible talks about being equally yoked, and it's more than just being with someone who believes like you do. It's being with someone who shares the same values and principles and beliefs, you know values towards money. It can cover a wide variety of things. But I will tell you, everybody that I've talked to in this particular position, I've said the same thing to, and I'm going to say this to you, sweetheart. Culture is not greater than right or wrong.
Mm.
Now, when I say that to my clients from the Caribbean, oh, doc, you don't know my mama. I can't say that to my mama. How dare you speak against the culture? I just did. I've had to look 60 and 70-year olds from the Caribbean in the face and say, your culture ain't greater than what's right or wrong. It ain't. Right and wrong will always be greater than culture. You know why? Because culture has infused in it man and woman made principles. And at any time something has man or woman's hands in it, it can be tainted. So I don't care what culture you're from. I don't care if you're just plain black. I don't care if you're plain white. I don't care if you're Mexican. I don't care what you are. Your culture ain't greater than right or wrong. I have clients, to put this in a different perspective to lighten up the mood. I have clients that are Italian.
Mm.
It's funny, right? And in the men that are Italian, very bravado, right? It's very stereotypical, very bravado. And y'all do sessions with them, and they're having relationship problems with their wives or girlfriends, and they'll be like, "Doc, just forgive me. I mean, I'm Italian. We're loud. We can be rude sometimes. I don't care, and you're wrong. You can be loud, rude, and wrong.
Got it. Yep.
Really, Doc? I'm Italian. That's what we do. That doesn't make it right. So
That's
let's start there. I respect your culture. I respect the culture you come from. I love my Caribbean clients. They're so freaking awesome. You guys are beautiful people inside out. But sweetheart, your culture ain't greater than what's right or wrong. And the reality is, if you feel this deep conviction spiritually about your child and what she's raised around,
hmm
you need to continue to have serious talks with her father so that you both put her in the best position possible
mm.
to grow into the person that she really can become. What does her father say about his mother's behavior?
So, I mean, we had the conversation not too long ago. So, he says, "What do you want me to do?" She
Mhm,
believes what she believes in. I can't do anything about it.
mhm.
So, it's just what it is.
But what does he believe about putting his daughter around her? Does he share the same apprehension, or he just thinks it's not a big deal?
He doesn't think it's a big deal. However, he stated, again, from the conversation we had, do you think my mom would hurt my daughter or try to do something if I'm her son? And again, I've seen all the behaviors, and I try not to overthink things sometimes. But there is no way when dealing with a Haitian mom that
Mhm.
you're gonna get away with certain things. They will try it. They will do it.
Yep. Culture, again, being greater than right or wrong. And when a child is involved, their greatest asset is their innocence.
Mm.
It's their greatest asset. So you have to ask her father this simple question: is her being around your mother going to preserve and sustain her innocence?
Mm.
That's a question that's greater than culture.
It is. Mhm.
It's greater than what you practice. It is a question of right or wrong. That even if I believe in voodoo and I practice that, do I have enough respect for her as my granddaughter to do what is right to protect her innocence? If that answer is not a guaranteed yes, and we feel this strongly about that as we do, which I understand, you got to do what you have to do to protect your daughter, which means y'all might have to think about a different set of arrangements. I get it. You don't want her to not have to not grow up around her grandmother and not know her grandmother. I understand that.
Mhm.
But let me tell you something. You got the first responsibility to your child, not her grandma.
Mm.
You're a believer, so you believe the Bible. The Bible says, train up a child in the way they should go. Who should train them? It don't say grandma and grandpa. And that's the wild part. A lot of people have been raised by grandparents and uncles and aunts, and they did the best they can.
Mhm.
But God requires parents to do it. And there's a reason. Because while your grandparents love your children, there are levels even to love when it relates to your kids. And
God.
I don't believe, I might get crucified for this. Do I believe grandparents can love kids? Absolutely. My mom and daddy love my, are you kidding me? I was fussing at them last night, and daddy was on the phone, and mama was in the back of, Zed, be easy on them kids. Leader, I'm going to call y'all. I'm going to call my babies in a little bit. Being grandkids, they love those kids. But let me tell you something. I don't believe nobody loves their kids more than their parents. And if they do, if somebody can love their kids more than their parents, then those parents are dysfunctional.
Mm.
You have
Agreed.
the obligation. You have the obligation to raise them. You need to have this serious conversation about him and ask about preserving the innocence of your daughter. How old is she?
She's only one, turning two soon.
She's a sponge. She's a walking sponge. You've heard me say this several times. Ages 3 to 8. It's greater than culture. Where you from? Your brain is the softest from the ages of 3 to 8. It absorbs the most. She's right on the edge. You need to make this priority, whatever those arrangements are. Kudos to you guys trying to work this out without the courts. I think regardless of culture, that's always a great idea because it empowers the parents to do the right thing by the children. But your child's father is going to have to understand that your daughter's innocence is more important than y'all's culture.
Hmm. Understood.
That listen, they're not gonna like that conversation.
Not at all. Not at all.
Tell them come see me.
Not at all.
Send them to me.
I think they'll end up having a fight with each other.
Send them to me. I'm serious. Send them to me. Because culture ain't greater than right or wrong. It's not.
Mm.
You gotta protect your daughter's innocence, sweetheart. This is
Okay.
a tough one. Um, this is some. I need you to follow up with me. I don't know if you're seeing anyone. I need you. I definitely need you to follow up with me. These are the kind of calls that keep my brain up at
Mhm.
night. I need you to follow up with me. We need. I would love to get a follow up with you because yeah, there are a few more questions I would really love to dive into, and I want to preserve the integrity
Mhm.
of your situation, and obviously your 1-year-old daughter. Um, but there's some deeper things we probably need to tap into as well,
Got it.
specifically related to your relationship with him.
Mhm.
His relationship with his mom, I think, has a lot to do with this. I'll tell you why, and I'm just gonna just say this to preview it. You shouldn't even be fighting this battle with his mom. Who should be doing it?
You should.
See, in marriages, there's this thing, my friend, called order.
Mhm.
You have no business fighting against his mama. He should be doing that. And even if y'all ain't disagreeing, his job is to make sure that all is well on his side related to you. And your job is to make sure all is well on your side related to him.
Mhm.
Not, well, that's mama, she ain't gonna do. Uh-uh.
Hmm.
So we probably need to go a little bit deeper than this and and explore. I would love to. I'm serious. Shoot me an email. Shoot me
Okay.
an email. If you're interested, I'll figure it out a way to make it work. This one is important to me because we got a 1-year-old involved. I don't play games about kids. I don't.
Mhm. Okay.
Is this helpful? I hope.
Yes, it was very helpful. I'm just trying to take in everything you just said.
I know it's a lot to soak in. I
Um,
really want you to remember what I said about innocence and
got
culture. Innocence and culture. Innocence, culture, and truth.
got it.
I really need you to let that soak in and have that serious conversation with them. And again, a lot of cultures really struggle with this. I know what you're going to be up against. Some of us, we treat our culture like gods, and it ain't. I don't care if it's black culture, Haitian culture, I don't care what it is. Every culture got its flaws. And when we sit up here and play with them and act like they don't, and we put our culture above morals and ethics and right and wrong,
Mhm.
then our culture has us looking crazy and doing crazy things. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable.
All right. And thank you so much for the advice. A lot.
I really hope it was helpful. I mean that sincerely. You reach out to me, let me know if I can help more. I mean that. Please follow up with me, okay, Ashley?
All right. Thank you so much for having me,
My
Dr. Zach.
pleasure, my friend. Have a good night. I don't like that. I don't like that. I It just goes to show the power of spiritual people. Doc, why you got spiritual as part of your 5 areas of healing? Well, when I created the 5 areas of healing, I put spiritual there because I believe what we do spiritually is the foundation of everything that we do. And I believe it requires a spiritual foundation for you to be able to accomplish certain things in your life. But Lord knows, to be a parent, you need to have some kind of spiritual foundation. Because when you're raising a child, you ain't going to always know what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. You're not going to always know what's best for them. And if you don't have some kind of spiritual guide, you're going to have your kids doing crazy stuff. I just believe that. Parenting is hard enough as is. These kind of calls right here jerk on me. The worst thing you can do is take a kid's innocence. That's why I think pedophiles ought to be thrown under the jail. Put them under there with Jeffrey Dahmer and put some hot sauce on. I meant what I said. There's just certain things I don't believe in. Now, it's a good question. What about atheists and spiritual pillar of healing? Yeah, I've got clients that are atheists too. It's funny. I have clients that are atheists, and part of the reason I believe that's the case is because I've been blessed. I have a God given ability to relate to anybody. I even had one client that came to me as an atheist, and now they're a believer. And I wasn't trying to convert them. We were actually walking through solving their problems, but they got to a place where they realized that it required belief in a power greater than them to solve certain problems in their life. And that's when the door opened. So this stuff applies to anyone.
Listen, y'all, I hope this made sense. If it did, I want you to type church in the comments with 3 R's. And then I want you to remember you've got 2 jobs. 1, be better today than what you were yesterday. And 2, don't forget what I told you.